Good morning, Year 7. So today we are going to learn a task where we will eventually be enlarging an image to a larger scale. Artists use this quite a lot when they have a photograph that they want to get to A1 size, poster size, or even up to the size of a wall. So it is a key skill that we need to learn. Currently, we are going to just be learning the process where we take the same size image to the same size grid. But this grid method and the measuring that goes into it is the key skills I need you to learn. Now this grid here, I need you to tuck underneath your page, a nice clean page in your book, so that I can reuse this if possible. But it is up to you whether you transfer the lines and draw them into your book nice and lightly, or whether you just see the lines underneath the page. Because you will not be able to see what I'm doing if I tuck it under paper, I am going to draw directly onto this grid, but I would like you not to if possible. Now this is a line drawing that has been made by Pablo Picasso, of a famous composer. We are going to use it because it is a nice line drawing, but it's got quite complex lines that are very hard to draw if we don't break it down. You will notice the grid tallies up, so we've got where it's more tricky, smaller boxes, and larger boxes where it's slightly easier. These sheets here have been folded many times because it is easier to fold it and concentrate on one box at a time. What I'm going to do is transfer the information here into this box here. So to make this easier, I'm just going to put this a bit more central. I might actually use a measuring technique where I lightly draw the middle line. So I'm splitting the box in half both ways because I find that helps me to know where the lines go. So I'm going to do the same on my grid and the image sheet, and we can always rub that out later. Now what I've noticed is this line here is to the right of my midway line. It also curves, it is not straight, and then it sort of almost hits the middle line or the middle cross where those lines come. So it comes down into a U shape and then round. It's going off into this shape here, so I might just try this shape first. Notice it's above the line and it comes down in a big triangle towards the end. It's an angled shape, it doesn't go straight at the top. We've got a little rectangle there, and then that line just disappears all the way off to the top. Now this line has got to come back up and meet it in there somewhere. There's two little lines, but can you see how I'm always judging which shape, if it's curved or straight, whether it's long or short? So if I do this line now, you can see it's very close at the top, but it is the tiniest bit curved and it goes all the way down to the bottom. This one doesn't quite come from the absolute bottom of the U, but it's almost, so it's around there and it goes off to the bottom of the screen. And then hopefully as you start building this picture up, all the lines will meet as you get to the next box. So my next box is here, and hopefully now this will keep going and transfer into the next box. So I'm looking at the angles of the lines and I'm looking at the length of line, and this is quite helpful. This one goes off towards the corner, so I can just literally go there and be happy with it. So just to repeat, we are sometimes breaking down the box into smaller boxes just to help us measure. I'm checking where lines go, whether it goes through a measurement I've put in or if it meets another line that I'm going to draw. I'm looking at the angles, and if you're not sure on angles, the angle that you see on the page is the same that you will be able to draw here, so you can actually transfer angles straight across. I'm seeing if anything's close, and I'm seeing if it's curved or straight lines. Now the harder bit will be the boxes that are split down into smaller sections already. I particularly find the face a difficult one, so I'm going to just demonstrate that one quickly by again splitting up this small box into quarters just to help me, because I've noticed that this eyeglass on the glasses he's wearing really does fill that shape and that quarter. It goes outside the line a little bit and then comes back in, and it's going to disappear behind his nose, which cuts across 3 of those boxes there. This eyeglass, however, is very much different. It's not quite symmetrical, so we have a smaller, it doesn't fill that box, goes slightly into the larger box here, and this is how I would be building up the picture. It will obviously look wrong until I've got all the lines in, but the process that we're going to do is the same. So I want you lot to each have a man on the grid. I would like you all to have a grid, but remember that is going to be slotted underneath a clean page in your book. And then I want you to slowly transfer the lines and the shapes that you're seeing from one image to your grid under your page. Think about the shape, think about the length of line, think about if it's straight or curved, think about if it meets another line, or if the measurements and making it smaller will help you. Best of luck, off you go.